All right, Cuban Collector back here with a grade reveal video. This is from CGC Cards. Just got this in, sent about 50 cards to get graded. Let's see how we did. All right, let's take a look. They send it in this box with the dividers. And first up, we have a 1950 Bowman Mike Guerra in CGC 4. Not bad for a 75-year-old card. Next up, we have the 51 Bowman Mike Guerra. This one got a CGC 6. Then we have 55 Bowman Mike Fornielis in a 4. Another 55 Bowman here, one of my favorites, Mini Minoso. This one's in a 5. Then we have Tony Gonzalez. Now this looks like the 65 tops. It's actually the OPC, so the Canadian version. There's a lot of Canadian cards as well as Venezuelan cards in this submission. So in the back it has printed in Canada. It's got a 5.5. Also from that same year, again, Canadian issue. This is the Pedro Ramos in a 5. Next up, we have a 1970 OPC Jose Tartable. Printed in Canada. His son Danny also played in the major leagues. That's interesting. It lists his home as Caracas, Venezuela. Maybe he probably played in the Venezuelan league as well at that time. Then we have Tony Perez, 72 OPC. A lot of the OPCs are off center, so that's why the top bottom centering is off here. They've still got a 5.5. Now we have Chico Cardenas, also known as Leo Cardenas. This is the 73 OPC Canadian. Next up, we have the Bazooka Camilo Pascual, 1960. This got an authentic. The Bazooka cards were hand cut. A lot of times, if it's missing the black dash border, it'll only grade as an authentic. And this is a blank back. This order came really quick. I submitted about a month and a half ago and already got it back. Next up, we have Jose or Joe Azcue. This is a photo stamps. Again, it's a hand cut card, so it came back as authentic. Then we have Chico Cardenas again, this time the 1966 Topps Venezuelan. This is a PSA 4. It's really hard to get anything above a 4 in these cards, so very pleased with the 4 grade here. This is what the back looks like. These are on a lot thinner stock than the normal Topps. That's why the grades are a lot tougher. Then we have the 59 Topps Venezuelan Pedro Ramos in a 2.5. Again, very good grade for the set. Next up, we have a vintage or antique style card here. So this is the 1946-47 Propagandas Montiel Los Reyes del Deporte, George Bucci from Club Tampa. These are some of the oldest cards from Cuba. This is a Cuban production. The back is in Spanish. A lot of these were glued into a binder. You can see where the glue marks are still there. So these number one, very thin stock, so it's hard to get above a 1 or a 2 on these. So 1.5 is actually a very good grade for this. Next up, we have Club Lakeland, Florida. Frank Miller from the same series. So this one's a 1. Also from Club Lakeland, John Mayer. Then we have John Ippolito from Club Tampa in a 1. Next up, so this got authentic altered. So this is Jackie Hernandez or Jacinto Hernandez, Venezuela issue. So this is from the Venezuela Winter League. And they give a note on here, which is nice, that says why they gave it the grade. So evidence of alteration. I didn't alter it. It looks like maybe miscut. They drew a line on the edge, so yeah, they're saying it was trimmed or miscut from the factory on that left-hand side there. So it got an authentic altered. Was really hoping for a high grade here. This has really sharp corners. Without that, it would have graded probably 5 or 6 maybe, which is incredible for this series. Again, anything Venezuela issued from the 60s is really hard to get in a high grade. Next up, we have Chino Hidalgo from the Havana Cubans. All right, into some boxing cards. We have Mike Tyson. This is a promo card, 7.5 from 1991. And Don King in the picture. It's a sample there. Another boxing card, this one from the Los Reyes del Deporte set. Juan Oliva boxing card. This got an authentic. Not sure why. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Maybe miscut there at the bottom. I think that could be why. Otherwise, it would have been very high grade. Okay, so this is from the same set, different color background. So let's compare these side by side. We have Armandito Puente P in a 1.5. Cuban boxer. All right, now we have a stamp. So this is a 1961. Frank Herrera, also known as Pancho Herrera. This is in a 3, so definitely off center there. The 1961 stamps are pretty rare, so hard to find those. Now we have Mike De La Hoz, Venezuelan issue, 1964, in a 3. So the way to tell the difference between these and the other ones, so the American Tops is the American Tops will have an orange back and the Venezuela one's a black back. Cleveland Indians player. Next up is a hockey card, Tim Horton with the 6.5. This is one from my personal collection. Bought it a long time ago. Just got it graded. So it's mostly vintage stuff with a few non-Cuban and random stuff in there. All right, next up, 1962, Topps Venezuelan, Leo Posada in a 3. This is a really nice set. This was one of the few by Topps, maybe the only one that had the back in Spanish. So this one has Spanish writing on the back. The other Topps ones, like the 64 that we saw, have English back. Now we have Chico Fernandez from the same set. Top's Venezuelan. Spanish back. 64 Topps. Chico Ruiz. Cuban-born player, along with Bill McCool. It says printed in USA, but it's actually printed in Venezuela. Or it may have been made in the US for Venezuela, but these were Venezuelan issue cards. And this is a 2. Next up, another Venezuela card. This is a 1956. I believe it's Venezuela issued. 1956-57, Chicle Peletoros. Rodolfo or Rudy Arias. Number 2. Grade 2. Okay, now we're getting into the non-sports. So this is a Cuba Time and Money in Different Countries, 6.5. Very good grade for this card. It's from 1908, so well over 100 years old. So definitely very pleased with the 6.5 grade here. This is made by Willis, London Tobacco Company. Now we have the 1887 Ellen Ginter N9 set. This is China. Flags of all nations. So this says surface erased, and they circled on the back. So I was really hoping for a high grade here. However, it came back authentic altered, and if you look at where they circled, there's some marking there. Really hard to see. Unlike PSA, they don't do qualifiers I've seen here at CGC, so they just do it authentic altered or authentic. And this is actually their Virginia Brights variation. So this is a lot more rare than the normal Allingitner. Next up, we have Chicago Yacht Club. This is from 1909, T59, 3.5. And what makes this one rare is it has the Sub Rosa back. These are very hard to find with that back. So that's Chicago Yacht Club. Next up, we have 1956 Topps Flags of the World, Cuba. This was from 1956. Take a look at another variation of this shortly. So here's the other variation. This is the UK variety. So this says ABC Flags of the World. So this was licensed by Topps to ABC. This one got a 5. There are 2 versions of this, a small and a large. So the large is similar to the top size, but also made by ABC. And then the small is considerably smaller. And these have printed in England. There's a few other variations of this. One is printed in Germany. Another one is made in Israel, and also there's a Greek version, which I haven't seen a lot of. Next, we have one that they didn't grade. This is ineligible. This is the Rossi of London Cuban flag card. So, reason they gave was more info needed. We'll talk about this at the end. When you're submitting non-vintage, vintage non-sports cards, it's good to include some research with them. This isn't what they mostly grade, so if you're able to include some references, that will help get them graded. So I'll try to find out more about this, or if anyone watching knows more about this Rossi series, let me know so I could resubmit it for grading. This is number 14 in a series of 58 from Rossi's Paper Company of London. Next up, we have the 1900 Sweet Caporal T177 Domino Flag. Really like this card. There's a series, a whole set of dominoes with different countries. So this is authentic, so it's a hand-cut card, so it's going to get an authentic grade in most cases. If you have the complete border, it may grade higher, but authentic for this blank back card is pretty typical. Next up, we have a Fidel Castro card. This is from the 1960s, issued in Belgium, so the back is in Dutch. So this came back authentic, altered. It says evidence of color added on the surface. If you look closely, there's a little mark there. I didn't add it personally. Looks like just a mark. So instead of grading it with the MK qualifier, CGC grades it as authentic, altered. So not sure how that mark got there. Also on the back, these came in packages of chocolate, so this is part of the wrapper that was stuck there. This is a Fidel Castro card from the 1960s. Next up, we have the T107 Helmar Turkish cigarettes card. Seals and coat of arms. So this is Cuba. This is second edition Factory 7. So there's first edition, second edition, and then Factory 7 or Factory 30. So it's got a 2 with rounded corners, and then a lot of these have a stamp on here. This says Packer number 191. This is the T107 1910 Helmar. Again, another variety. This one is the first edition in a 2.5. If we look at the back, it's a little bit different, and this one is factory number 30. Next up, this is an interesting card. So this is a Brazilian issued from the 1930s, Os Indios do Brasil. So this is a set of 6 cards. I got 2 of them graded. The backs are in Portuguese. These came with different products in Brazil, soaps and things like that. Here's another one for the same series, Series 33. This one got a 1.5. These are different Indians from Brazil, as well as the state or province in Brazil where they're from. Next up, we have Nielsen's Chocolate Ukraine grading card, flag card, graded a 5. So this is from 1923, Nielsen's Chocolate Canadian issue, Ukraine, number 36. Very nice card. Then we have India, made by Parade, which was a Topps brand at the time. The 1950 Parade card. Flags of the World, India. These come in a gray back as well as a tan back. So based on the type of stock it was printed on. And then also Cuba from that same series. So this is the gray back. So the India one is a lot lighter, and the Cuban has the darker due to the type of paper they were printed on. One more of these. This one's in a 3, so better grade than the last one, and this one has the tan back. So we have a gray back and a tan back. .5 and a 3. Now we have the Cincinnati Game Company 1896, so one of the few 1800s cards I have here. And I usually display it the other way around. So this is Cuba A4. So this was a part of a deck of cards you could buy. So this is essentially the ace. So Cuba as an A4. We got a 2.5 on it. Next up, we have 1911 T70 historic events. So sinking of the Maine in Havana Harbor by Hoffman House. This is from the T70 set. All right, coming up to our last few cards here. So this is the moon landing, so the Apollo mission. This was the 1984 Drake Press. This was a reprint series. So the original is from 1975 and 1976. So these are sticker cards. And the set was reprinted by Drake Press in 1984. So these stickers came with loaves of bread, or at least the originals did. So we have the moon landing. Then we have the first flag of the United States, first Stars and Stripes flag. So this is the 13 colonies from the same set. So this is the 1984 Drake Press. This one got a 7. And then finally, the last card is the Alamo flag. So this was from the 84 Drake Press set. This one got a CGC 8. This is Alamo 1836. And it has a flag with 1824 on it. So here are the 3 Drake Press cards. And that's all for this grading. I do have another couple orders in with CGC. So for vintage non-sports cars, there's kind of a do not grade epidemic going on with some of the grading companies. So you'll send in your cars to get graded, and sometimes even if they've graded before, they may send it back to you as a do not grade. So what you should do is do the research beforehand. Look up these cards in trading card database, tcdb.com, or American Card Catalog. Find a couple sources on these if it's not in the graders database already. So do the research for them. Include that research when you submit it, and also on the order, type out that you're including research with it. Or what I did was use Hawk's Break. So he hand delivers the orders personally to the CGC headquarters. So with that, you could print out your research. He'll hand them the paper, show them what everything is. Then they'll go and verify it. This makes it go a lot quicker for them, and they're more likely to grade your vintage non-sports cards. Hope you enjoyed it.